Hi guys, welcome back to the Talking Rangers YouTube channel. Today for a transfer update. QPR have actually been very busy in the last week or two in bringing in some new faces into the club, and they were much needed. The squad depth was looking very minimal, but now we've got a few more additions going forward. And you know, we could be a bit of a force to be reckoned with this season. So before we get started, make sure you go down there, hit subscribe, hit like and comment on this video, just because it helps me out a lot. And let's get this channel to 1k. The grind to 1k is underway. Thank you very much for the support lately. And no further ado, let's get in to this video. So let's kick it off with Macauley Bonne. He was the first one of this recent burst of additions into the squad, joining from Charlton on a 3-year deal for a reported £2 million. Now, can you guys actually believe that £2 million fee? I just don't buy it. I really don't believe we've cashed out £2 million from Macauley Bonne. I mean, Charlton came out and said that it was a deal they couldn't refuse.
QPR came in and basically made an offer that we couldn't refuse.
I'd just be very surprised if we forked out £2 million to acquire Bonne's signature. But he's at the club. The Twitter was absolutely hilarious for this one. Charlton fans coming out with some absolute corkers. My personal favourite was honestly, whoever tweeted this should just retire. They need to delete their account. Paris WYMS coming out with, and QPR thought I would leave. Absolutely brilliant tweet, that one. Some of these tweets are just going to give you a quick couple. Zero. We bought him for 200k last year and sold him for 2 million. He's been, for us, 3 games anyways, you've been robbed. I mean, a 96-minute equaliser. He's already brought us a point and hopefully going to get us a lot more goals. I mean, if we're being realistic, he bagged 12 goals last season, playing for Charlton, a very poor Charlton side, and you know, he was the 6th highest. He had the 6th highest shot conversion rate in the league last year for anyone above 10 goals. So he's obviously pretty clinical. I think 10 out of his 11 Championship goals came inside the box. He's a clinical striker, and hopefully he's going to bring us quite a lot of goals this year. I mean, if he breaks double figures and gets around 15 goals, I think that's a great bit of business in this market, because in reality, what half-decent striker can you get for £2 million? And I mean, I'd actually be amazed if we spent £2 million on him. But anyway, moving on to the next one. Now, these just, honestly, Charlton fans, you gave us so much great content. These were honestly hilarious. Not impressed with Bonne's interview for QPR. Says they're a bigger club and develop their players. Are you having a laugh, pal? Running his mouth. Not impressed. Glad he's gone. Would it be more professional to say he wanted Championship football? QPR bigger than Charlton Athletic? Are you on crack? Charlton fans, what league are you currently in? When were you last in the Premier League? Do I need to go on? But anyway, those honestly provided so much entertainment on his signature when he signed, and then to go and score that.
It's gone forward, and there's the headed equaliser! Oh, what a fine cross, and what a fine header!
I mean, there's proving someone wrong, and then there's doing that. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the signing of Bonne. It adds some great squad depth, and it finally means that we don't have to rely on Aramide Ote. So after the signing of Bonne, QPR managed to pull off the coup of Albert Adomah. That man had QPR Twitter on absolute strings. For weeks, he's been posting videos of him doing skills, tricks, keepy uppies, wearing his whole catalogue of QPR shirts. That man is Mr. QPR. I was absolutely thrilled to see that man actually wearing an official QPR shirt. Not one that he's rushed down to the club shop to get his name on like he's done for years and years. He actually is a QPR player. I'm absolutely delighted to have said that. And can we just take a minute and just listen to this?
It's unreal, like, just unbelievable. You know, imagine just being a supporter and playing for the club that you love. It just, words can't even describe it. I think only the supporters can understand how I'm feeling right now. you know. So it's just amazing, just a pleasure, just to be here. It's unreal, like just.
It just hits you right there. I don't think I've ever fallen in love with a player this much that hasn't even kicked a ball for us. This man could be absolutely shocking, and I still think I'd love him. I still think I'd love Albert Adomah. When players say that, just can we just take a minute, right? To just getting carried away here. Just cast your minds back to when we had players like Sean Wright-Phillips, Jose Bosingwa that laughed when the club were relegated. This guy's pouring his heart out. Absolutely. He can't even explain what it's like to sign for QPR, and I can't explain to you how I feel about this man joining QPR. He talked in his interview about, he was linked to the club 6 years ago, then 4 years ago, and both times he was near enough heartbroken when it didn't go through, and his agent teased him, saying a London club's been in for you, and when he was told it was QPR, I'm sure he can't even explain what it feels. I just cannot explain to you how great it is to have a player that's so passionate and understands what it's like for us QPR fans. That's not even talking about him as a player. He is a great player. He is the second joint all-time most assist taker. He has the most assists, the second most assists for any player in the history of the Championship, with 59 assists. He has so much to offer going forward. He's still quick, he's still agile, he's still skillful. And I think he's going to really add a lot of depth, experience, knowledge, leadership to this QPR side. And just depth. We just need options going forward. He's going to really complement our attacking options. Samuel Adomah on either wing. That is a high standard Championship attack. Samuel is, as we know, phenomenal. Don't get me started to say Samuel. But then Adomah, then Chair, then another man with Chris Willock that I'm going to touch upon in just a moment. George Thomas coming in there in attacking positions. Maybe even Paul Smith. That is the depth we needed. And I'm so happy that he's a cult hero already. This man has got QPR fans on strings at the moment. If you haven't seen QPR Twitter, then I don't know what you're doing. His passion, his desire, it's going to be infectious, and I cannot wait to see that man in blue and white on a Saturday. And we just know he's going to give 110%. 2-year contract as well. And there was a lot of clubs that Cardiff were really interested in, but even Neil Harris said, once he heard QPR were interested, they ended their pursuits of signing him because they just knew he would sign for QPR. I'll be interested to see what wages he's on because, he's been a big earner. He's been at Villa, Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forrest, Cardiff. He's been on big wages, and I think he must have definitely taken a cut to play for QPR. So it's really interesting to see how this one will turn out. I just hope his performances match the man's passion. So yeah, just a great addition. And I think what he's going to add not only on the pitch but off the pitch will be fantastic. He is a seasoned pro in the Championship. Hundreds of games in the Championship. So if there's anyone knows, if any man knows the Championship, it is Albert Adomah. He's home. He is home. Come on. I can't stop. I'm absolutely thrilled that man has put pen to paper on a QPR contract. I better move on. So the last bit of business that we got done before the end of the international transfer deadline was the signing of Chris Willock from Benfica on a 3-year contract. An exciting prospect. Chris Willock is a very exciting attacking player. He's played for England under 16s all the way to under 20s. That takes some doing. He was on loan last year at West Brom and Huddersfield. He scored 2 in 14. He did only ever complete 2 full 90-minute performances though. And we didn't really get a look in at West Brom, but I did some speaking to some guys at the Take That Chance podcast, Huddersfield podcast, speaking to Neil, and this is what he told me about Chris Willock. He said he has real glimpses of talent, very fleetingly. Scored twice, a great goal versus Bristol City and also against West Brom, where he had started the season on loan. He was excellent in that game, but overall a bit lightweight. And this is what I'm hearing about Chris Willock. But on the flip side, he was playing in a very poor defensive-minded side that things could be different in attacking setup. And this is what I'm hoping for. In a QPR, very possession-based team, he could have a lot of chances and really flourish in the Warburton style. He said he wasn't disappointed we didn't get him, but he said he is worth a punt at 750k. Now, I do feel like that is good business. Neil Banfield, he's worked with a lot at Arsenal, so he already has a face that he knows in the QPR setup, and Banfield must rate him very highly. He was quite sought after for us, and I do think it is another good addition. 750k in this market really isn't a lot of money, and for a young player at the age of, I think, 22, still got a lot to offer. Still hungry. He's got pace. He's got skill. He's very raw, and we're hoping that Warburton can do the same sort of progress he has done with Eze, with Samuel, and really bring out his best. So, I mean, it's an exciting one. He's not going to come on in the next game and set the world alight, but he's work in progress, and that is what all these transfers are. I'm so happy that, you know, we've made this transition. We're signing raw, young, hungry players that want to make their career. George Thomas, another example, hasn't really, you know, really got to the heights that he could do. They've got potential, but they haven't really got there yet. I think QPR is really that catalyst. You know, they see QPR as a place that, you know, hopefully, you know, we can maybe get into the Premier League. But if not, they see it as a place where they can progress and maybe earn the move to the Premier League. And to be honest, that is the position the club is at the moment. You know, we're not gonna finish in the automatic places this year. I mean, I'd love that, but it's not realistic. You know, can we just take a minute to appreciate the money that QPR spent on transfers? £6.75 million reportedly on incomings this transfer window. I would have even been surprised if we spent £2 million. We spent £50,000 on, I think, the last 4 windows put together, just with the signing of Liam Kelly. Now, that's some real belief. I know we sold Eze for a reported £16 million, but I'm sure probably not a lot of that was even up front. So, fair play to the board. They've really pulled their hands. You know, you may say that's not a lot, £6 million, but I really think that is in the current climate. You know, obviously the whole COVID situation, there's a real lack of income, and the club is struggling. But they've invested, they've backed Warburton, and we've just got to stick with Warburton and give him time. You know, look at these players. They're not finished articles. They're gems that need polishing. So we've got to get behind them and not shred them after every other bad game. You know, look, Chris Willock, he had a couple of bad games, a couple of good games. We've got to really get behind these players and give them the platform that they need to grow. If we just look at the squad now, we've got a lot of depth. You know, Dykes, Bonne, and maybe even the signing of Charlie Kelman, who I'll touch upon in just a second. Across that front three, behind the striker in Warburton's 4-2-3-1 system, you've now got the likes of Chair, Samuel, Adomah, Willock, Smith, George Thomas, maybe even Amos if he wants to play him in the lines he has done so far. And as well, you know, we've got a strong midfield, and as well we've got Hamalainen, who's yet to come in, maybe even Manning if, you know, he actually fancies playing for QPR, maybe putting pen to paper. We need Samuel to put pen to paper as well. That would be an absolutely monumental bit of business. But I really feel as though the squad's filling out. If you looked at the last game of the season, the squad was in bits. You know, we had a real lack of options. And fair play. The business doesn't even seem to be done yet, but we're looking like an actual squad now. It's all starting to come together. Warburton's plan is looking like a good one. Now, Charlie Kelman, the 18-year-old striker at Southend United. We had an initial bid rejected, I'm hearing, and today we have submitted an improved bid. Now, by the time this video is out, there may be some more news on that transfer, but at the current timing, it's looking like a really exciting bit of business. Scoring 6 in 16 appearances for the Essex side. You know, he's been linked with Tottenham. He's been linked with an array of Championship sides, and these are the players again. You know, I'm really excited about signing if we can get this one over the line. And I'm really sorry, but just to, you know, have Ote not in the matchday squad is a real bonus for me. Yeah, an exciting bit of business. If we can have 3 strikers that we actually own going into the season, that is monumental. How many seasons now have we had strikers that don't even play for us in the long term? We've had so many loan strikers, and yes, okay, they're if we look at it, they're downgrades from Jordan Hugill and Naki Wells, but we actually own them. You know, we can invest in them, we can help them grow, and we will reap the rewards of that. Not the parent club at the end of the season. So, yeah, it's exciting. I'm really, really happy with the business that's been done at the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium. Our whole squad has been transformed with young, hungry players that want to play for the badge, not players that, you know, are here for a paycheck anymore. If you even just look at, you know, Bonne's interview, he said his head was fully turned once he heard the QPR come knocking. He's seen what QPR have done with Eze. They've seen how we can grow players and the fantastic coaches we have at the club. So it's a big bonus. It's great to see that draw we have at the moment for younger players. And it's only going to benefit us in this window and in future windows to come. So that's a wrap for this transfer roundup. Hopefully we're going to have some more news. I'd love to bring in Charlie Kelman. I think that'd be a great bit of business. And just have 3 strikers, like I say, would be great depth for this season. Who knows what can happen? Who knows what can happen this season? If we can keep it a bit tighter at the back, now we've got a bit more firepower going up front. Who knows where we can end up? Who knows where we will end up? Thank you for tuning in. Much more content on the way. On to the next game. Come on, you R's. Let's hope to get back to winning ways. I'll see you in the next one.